This is the shit. Dad, what'd you think?
That was good.
It was good. That movie kicked ass. Damn. This is what I wanted from Phase 4. This is like everything I wanted. Like all these Phase 4 movies so far have ranged from like whatever to like really good. But this one, like, I like this a lot more than No Way Home. And I like No Way Home a lot. But this movie just kicks so much ass. Like, I have like almost like no complaints about this. Dad, talk about how badass this movie was.
You got so much.
All right. I don't know where that came from. All right, we're back. Technical difficulties. Dad, talk about this movie.
I thought it was good. You know, Rami's always good. So I thought the action was good. The storyline was good. There was real stakes. People died. It was a little bit more gruesome than most Marvel movies. A little more scary. It was good.
Yeah. This movie is probably the most fast-paced movie I've seen in a long time. Like, it literally just starts right into the action, and you're just like, oh, okay, we're here. You know, this movie, there was no filler. This movie wasted no time, and it kicked ass. So we're gonna spoil this movie. So I mean, if you wanna wait till after you've seen the movie, then go and see the movie because it's awesome. You're gonna see it anyways. So yeah. But anyways, I'll give you a second to leave. All right, second's over. Professor X died again. All right. First off, let's get the cameos out of the way. Dad, Illuminati. That was pretty cool. You got Captain Carter, Black Bolt, Captain Marvel, but she's Maria Rambeau, and Reed freaking Richards. What'd you think?
Oh, Reed Richards went out like a little bit.
I mean, what was he gonna do against Wanda?
I don't know. Why was he standing in the front?
That was pretty stupid of him. You'd think the smartest man in the universe would be like, maybe I shouldn't take on Wanda head on, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Reed Richards went out like a bitch, but I loved Professor X. You know, I know there's gonna be some people complaining like, oh, they killed Professor X, but Patrick Stewart's like 90 years old. Like, he can't play Professor X forever, and his character already had a good send-off in Logan, so I'm fine with them killing him again. It was nice to see him again, but we don't need him anymore, you know what I mean?
Plus, it was just that one universe.
Exactly. So, I mean, if they really wanted to pay him again.
I mean, it was a lot like when Dark Phoenix killed him. It was very similar.
Yeah, he literally, like, last stand they killed him, and in the credits scene, nope, he's alive. So, yeah. I can't remember the last time I was this excited watching a movie. Like, I was ecstatic the entire time. Stephen Strange actually had a lot of good characterization in this, I felt. Like, I thought he actually, like, they really, I mean, not super deep, but they actually went into his character a lot more than I thought they would. You know, he's really a tragic character because, I mean, Doctor Strange is kind of an asshole, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, I love how they really, like, they went into, yes, he has the weight of the world on his shoulders and he has a lot of responsibility, but he's also kind of a prick and probably isn't the most responsible guy to do it all the time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And all right, Wong, what would you think of Wong? Wong was good.
I mean, yeah, he did the best he could.
Yeah.
I mean, Scarlet Witch was unstoppable.
We'll get to Scarlet Witch in a bit. But what'd you think of America Chavez? Because, you know,
I thought she was good.
I thought she was good too. You know, there was a point, like, when she started out, I was like, I'm really liking this character. Really liking what they're doing with her. Really great. And then as she got kidnapped, I was just a little bit like, oh, don't do this movie. You're just wasting her character. But then by the end of it, I was like, nah, they didn't waste her character. We're just getting started with her.
Yeah, she'll be around.
Yeah, she was great. Loved her. No complaints. All right, let's get into Wanda now, because she was the best part of this movie. And that's saying some stuff, because this movie kicks ass. But, Dad, what'd you think of Wanda?
I thought it was good. I mean, as long as you watched WandaVision, if you didn't, you'd be like, what the hell's happening?
Yeah, so do you think Wanda's dead?
I don't know. I mean, she could definitely survive it if she wanted to.
Yeah, I think for the sake of this story, they left it ambiguous. But I think her arc actually concluded very satisfyingly. I think ultimately this makes me want to watch every movie Wanda's ever been in. It makes me want to rewatch WandaVision, and I think it's a great arc for this character. It's really a tragic tale, you know. I love the payoff at the end with her kids. It was sad, you know, and I thought it was believable that she went nuts, you know.
She was already pretty nuts before this movie happened, so it really laid the groundwork for it. I like that they brought in Miss Marvel. I mean, Captain Marvel. So that, so you can see the one-on-one fight and what would have happened, and she killed her.
Yeah, that was great. Wanda, I loved Wanda in this movie. Elizabeth Olsen did such a great job with this character. I loved her arc. This was as good of a Doctor Strange movie as it was a Scarlet Witch movie, in my opinion. I mean, she was just so great. She was scary. Like, she was an actual threat.
She was unstoppable.
She was. You know, I love that scene where she killed the Illuminati. As soon as Black Bolt went out, I was like, yeah, these guys, these punks have no chance. They're done. And it was amazing. She was scary. She was a great threat. I loved it. From like the first 20 minutes of this movie, I was like, I am loving this. Please don't mess this up. And they didn't. They kept it up the entire way through. She was a great. She's my favorite villain of Phase 4, and that's saying some stuff because I loved Willem Dafoe in No Way Home, but I thought she was so good. She almost stole the show for me personally.
Yeah, a lot like Thanos. You know, she was the bad guy, but she didn't realize she was the bad guy until the end.
Yeah, I loved the payoff with her kids. Like, she meets her kids at the end, and they're scared of her. You know, it's tragic, but it's a good payoff, and it fits perfectly with her character, I feel.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, Wanda, they did so great with Wanda. If this was the last movie that Wanda's in, I would honestly be okay with that. And honestly, with the arc that she's had, Wanda's probably in my top 5 MCU characters at this point. She is amazing. I loved Wanda in this movie.
I don't think we'll see her again.
I don't think so either. And I don't think we should, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that was a perfect conclusion to her character. But if they really wanted to bring her back, you know, they could use variants. So.
Yeah, I mean, she killed so many people.
Yeah. I mean, even if she did come back, she cannot be an Avenger anymore. No way. No way, Jose.
Well, I don't really think there are Avengers anymore. I mean, who's left?
I mean, the Thor trailer, he basically said, I'm done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Avengers are basically done at this point. I mean, we saw that in Shang-Chi, Carol and Bruce were kind of palling around together, but, I mean, that's probably not really an Avengers thing. That's probably just superheroes hanging out.
Yep.
Yeah. But yes, Steven was great in this movie. He was like, I think they really went into his character like in a subtle way, and I like that. I love how in the movie he constantly is like, you know, am I happy? He made that choice to become Doctor Strange and abandon what could have been a great life with Christine. But you know, I love how in other movies superheroes would say like, yeah, well, you know, I did that, but I had to do that to be a superhero. But in this movie, Steven's like, man, should I have done that? You know?
Well, I like that he goes to every single universe, well, everyone he goes to, and every time he does not end up with Christine.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
No matter where he goes, it's the same outcome.
That's perfect for his character. Like in the What If universe, she kept dying.
Yeah.
In every single universe, he's destined to not be with Christine. And speaking of Christine, what'd you think of her?
I liked her. I thought she did good.
Yeah, I thought she was great also.
I think the variant was actually better than the original.
Yeah, me too. One thing that is a little weird, it's not really a complaint, but in the credit scene of Doctor Strange, they set up Mordo to be the villain, and he basically wasn't even in this movie. I'm sure he'll be in the next one, I'm sure.
Yeah, but they had to set that up so that when we saw this movie, it made sense that they wouldn't trust each other.
Yeah, for sure. Man, Sam Raimi, man, his direction was so good. There were so many cool shots in this movie. That scene where Scarlet Witch is first like possessing another Scarlet Witch, and it was like a music video almost. Like, it was just so.
Oh, when they're fighting with music, that was pretty neat.
Oh, that was awesome. The action in this movie is creative. The first big action scene in this movie is like they're fighting this big. It's not Shumagorath. It's called Gigantos, but that was a great action scene. All the action was great. I really loved how like 80% of this movie was just Steven running away from Wanda. Like, that was just great. It's almost like a monster movie where Wanda, it's like a Friday the 13th movie, except Wanda is Jason Voorhees. Like, that is perfect.
Yeah, there was no stopping her. It was them trying to get away from her.
Yeah, it was great. She was so scary. I love what they did with Wanda in this movie. I loved her arc. I think she has one of the best MC. Honestly, her arc is honestly up there with Tony Stark for me. And I know that's gonna sound hyperbolic. You know, I just got out of the theater, so I'm excited, but this was so damn good. I mean, man, do you have any complaints with this movie? Because I can't think of any that like matter.
Good.
Yeah, listen, I know you're gonna be in the comments saying, "Oh, you're biased." Like, hell yeah, I'm biased. I've been growing up my entire life watching. You better believe that I grew up my entire life watching the X-Men movies and the X-Men show. And when Professor X showed up and they played the '90s show theme, you better believe I had like I freaked out. I freaked out. I was close to tears at that point. I mean, this movie, kind of like No Way Home, is basically just fan service, but like it's almost to a point where you're like criticizing it. I mean, you can. There probably is some stuff you can say doesn't make sense, but like, who even cares? Like, honestly, like, just have fun. You know, it's a great story. I mean, it's not an amazing story, but it is a well-told one. I think Steven's characterization and Wanda's characterization are both the highlights of this movie, along with the direction. And I also loved how this movie was genuinely like, I wasn't scared by it, but it genuinely was like almost a horror movie at points.
Yeah.
I mean, it was gruesome. Like, there were some deaths in this movie where I was like, oh my God, you know, like, Jesus. Like, Black Bolt's death was like, Jesus, goodness. I don't know if that was the same actor from the ABC show. I wouldn't think so, because that show was not good. But yeah, I mean, Deadpool didn't show up, but I didn't think he would. I don't know why people were thinking he was going to show up. Like, that's just stupid to me, you know?
But, you know, who knows? They went to another universe again, so they can't bring anybody to show up. Even the same people show up if they want to.
Yeah, that credit scene, I'm really interested to see what that sets up, you know? Charlize Theron, great actress, love her. That post-credit scene, normally in Marvel movies, I hate when the post-credit scene is something stupid. Like in Ant-Man and the Wasp, when it was just the ant playing the drums, I was like, okay, I waited for that. But in here, when they had Bruce Campbell, and he looks at the audience and he says it's over, I'm like, you can't help but smile, you know?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I love Bruce Campbell. He was great, and I love that he was in a Sam Raimi movie. That's just amazing. Yeah, I love this movie. I cannot shut up about it. I won't shut up about it. This was like almost perfect to me. Like, this is on, I mean, right next to The Northman and Turning Red. This is like my favorite movie of the year. I know you hated The Northman and Turning Red, but he hated both of those movies.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah, so
especially after seeing Morbius.
Yeah, it's hilarious how Morbius was acting like having the Vulture was like the biggest comic book reveal in the history of cinema. And this movie's like, yo, we'll just have Professor X and we'll just kill him.
And Reed Richards.
Kill him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's played by John Krasinski. Bitch. What are you gonna do about it? You know? Yeah, you're right. Reed Richards went out like an idiot.
Yeah.
But hey, John Krasinski, he's Reed Richards. That's been the fan casting for like years at this point, and now he's.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was great.
I'm sure he's happy to play the part finally.
Yeah, after all this. Man, this makes me want to rewatch WandaVision, honestly. This makes me want to rewatch Wanda's entire arc, you know? I'm at a point where, like, if they did want to continue her story in any way, if they have something really good, I'm sure, but for now, I'm just like, you know what? It was just so perfect. I'm not going to shut up about how good Wanda was in this movie. Elizabeth Olsen, I don't know, you're probably not watching this, but you did a great job. Good job. Benedict Cumberbatch, you did a great job too. We already mentioned it, but America Chavez, I really can't wait to see what they do with her in the future. Can't wait for Doctor Strange 3. You know, and I wasn't even that crazy about the first Doctor Strange. Like, it was all right, but I knew this would be good. This is my favorite movie of Phase 4. This is better than all the Disney Plus shows so far. This is better than all the movies so far. And I loved No Way Home, but this is much better than No Way Home to me. Much better. Final thoughts, Ed?
It was good. You know, I definitely will buy that when it comes out.
Yeah, I almost want to see this again in the theater, honestly.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
Honestly, and I never do that. I never see movies twice. I think I might see this again. So, I would recommend it to you, but you're probably going to already see it. So yeah, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness gets a thumbs up from this critic. All right, well, yeah, it was good.